What's going on, everybody? I want to welcome you back to episode 23. This is Cloud of Thoughts of Wrestling. You already know who it is. It's your boy, Sway Jose. Well, those of you who are tuning in for the first time, you don't know who it is. I'm Sway Jose. Those of you who have been rocking with me since the first one, you know who it is. We are going to get into AEW. You know, Wednesdays are my AEW days. We're going to talk about being the elite that they uploaded on Monday. We're going to go over them on TNT. We're going to go over the two matches that have been announced already. An appearance by a certain someone. We'll talk about that. We're also going to touch bases on CM Punk. I'm going to give you that whole rundown, what's going on with him, because there's more and more talk about him as we inch closer to All Out. And I'll give you my thoughts on if I think he is going to be with AEW or not. So, that's what we got in store for today. If you've missed anything I uploaded this week, Monday, New Japan Pro Wrestling, G1 Climax, results, standings, and predictions. Make sure you go and check that out. Really, really good. And G1 has been very exciting to watch this year. Moxley is definitely killing it. So go check that out. Tuesday, I just hit you with the guys with just, something new that I did. It's called Just My Opinion. And I talked about a couple topics that, have been on my mind that I want to get out there and give you my thoughts. I think it's one of the best videos I've done because you really get me and my real, thoughts on what I thought. My thoughts on those topics. So definitely go check that out. That was Tuesday. And like I said, we're here Wednesday. Wednesday's my AEW day. And we're going to jump into this being the elite. Now, it was Nick Jackson's birthday, and the show started out with the kids, and they're like, hey, let's wish Nick a happy birthday. And the kids, they hit him with the Zero Mero. It was hilarious. It was really hilarious. And they're just sick, like, oh my goodness. That's where everybody's going to be doing. If you're not already, everybody's going to be doing Zero Mero. Once AEW really starts getting going with how much Penta does it and gets the crowd to do it. It's really awesome. And then to see the kids do it, their kids do it, it was even more cool. So I like that. I love how they build their wrestlers. I love how they get the fans to connect with their wrestlers. It's AEW knows how to make stars. I'm going to say that. Now, also, they were at the AEW when they made their announcement. I guess it was like a photo shoot and all that. And I guess it was a little like press, release that they did and all that other stuff. But they were out there. They were at a photo shoot. Cody, they were taking pictures. And they had Cody tying, Matt's tie. And just what I like about it is I like the connection that the elite have with one another, and I like it. I like AEW. It seems like it's more like a bond, like a family, and I really, really enjoy that, and that can go a lot way. When you work at a job and you're working at your job, and it feels like when you go in there to work, you enjoy the people you work with, and you enjoy your bosses, and they give you this family type vibe. You're going to enjoy going into work every day, and you're going to go into work with a smile on your face, happy to be there. And that's what I see when I watch these guys, and the way they connect with their talent and themselves and each other. It's like a big family vibe, and I love that, and it makes you want to be a part of that. And as a fan, it makes you want to be a part of that. So they had the photo shoot. They called Jungle Boy a meaner Kenny G. That was hilarious. We had Private Party. They were, getting some drinks at the bar, and the Young Bucks wanted to come over and join them for some drinks, but, security came over, and they go, hey, man, no, it's a private party. And I like how the Young Bucks are like, oh, we signed you, gave you this money, now you think, money changes people. Now you think you all this, all that. And they go, you know what, we got a party for you, and they were going to give them the super kick party, but then Private Party gave the Young Bucks a super kick party, which was hilarious. And we got the Young Bucks versus Private Party at House of Glory, Wrestling High Intensity. It'll be the Young Bucks final indie match. Also, Private Party's final match from House of Glory, because that's where they're coming from. That's where they were at in the Indies doing their thing. So it will be their last. So it's like a send off, because it's going to be their last match. So it's like a send off for Private Party, and I'm being told that it's going to be on Fight TV if I'm not mistaken. So that's going to be good. I'm definitely going to try and check that out. A guy in the YWC who I enjoy and I watch a lot of, JD from NY. He's an announcer for House of Glory. and he's going to be, I hope, calling this match. If not, he's going to be on commentary, I believe with Saul Monster, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm definitely interested. I hope I'm able to watch that show to not only see some House of Glory talent that I don't know about, but also to see Private Party and the Young Bucks go at it, because I believe that's going to be a phenomenal match, and get to see my man JD do some commentary along with Soul Monster. So I hope I'm really able to watch that show. I'm excited for that show. And with it being on Fight TV, I'm going to try to definitely watch that show. So we also have SCU and SCU, Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. They had a little altercation, and they're talking like, yeah, you're young, you and Luchasaurus think you're one of the best tag teams and this and that, and it almost kind of teased that maybe we could see Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus versus Christopher Daniels and Frankie Kazarian at All Out. Who knows? I don't know, but it's funny because they walked off and they said they'll get back to it. But it's funny because Christopher Daniels was saying something, and he says to Jungle Boy, "You must not be that smart." And Luchasaurus pops up with Jungle Boy on his shoulders, and he goes, "I have a master's degree." It's just hilarious. Then you got, he goes, "Oh, you got, because Jungle Boy sits on Lucha Boy's shoulders," and then like Christopher Daniels tries to pick up Frankie Kazarian, but it's like he throws him on his back, like kind of like he's about to Alabama slam him. And Frankie's like, "Come on, man! Like, what are you doing? What are you doing?" And then like he puts him down, but then Frankie lifts Christopher Daniels up like he's going to power drive him. And then he's like, "Come on, man! Whatever." And he puts him down, and then Christopher Daniels is like, "Come on, I got a bad neck." And then they start going at it. He's like, "Terry Funk," and It's just hilarious, man. I get a real good kick out of watching Being the Elite, and it gets you to. I love the segments on it, man. It's good. It makes you laugh, and it's good shit. It really is. I enjoyed that. Rick Knox and Christopher Daniels. I like what they've been doing with Rick Knox. Rick Knox is probably going to be my favorite referee when it's all said and done. CD's on the phone, and he's not really paying attention, and he goes to like get in. He's like he's going into the women's locker room, and Rick Knox comes up. He's like, "Come on, man, no, you can't do that." And Christopher Daniels is like, "What?" Rick Knox starts counting. 1, 2. Christopher Daniels like, all right, whatever, man. He's like, you're good. You're what we need around here in AEW. And Rick Knox is like, thank you. So that's cool. I like the segments with Rick Knox. I said that last week. And then I also liked at the end of Being the Elite, how the Young Bucks, they had a little party. They were swimming, they were jumping in the pool. I like how they say, we're known for flipping, so we're going to do what we're known for. And they're flipping off the diving board. Brandon Cutler, is there, and it's just real cool. But at the end of Being the Elite, it's cartoon Young Bucks. And they're like, "Where you think you're going?" and all this. And they sing the Elite, the Elite. But on this particular episode, they were interrupted by the cartoon Lucha Bros, who just took Nick out the picture. They smack Matt with the ladder, and they come up and they give they're on there, and they like end Being the Elite. So I liked that, seeing the cartoon Lucha Bros. That's really good. Like I said, they know how to make stars, and they know how to build their talent, and I hope they continue in doing this, because I believe, like I said, man, a lot of these people, if you're not a hardcore wrestling fan, you're just a casual wrestling fan. A lot of people don't know about Luchasaurus. A lot of people don't know about Jungle Boy, A lot of people don't know about the Lucha Bros, And I love how they are putting these guys to the forefront and showing those casual wrestling fans who don't really know about these guys. Now, I knew about them all before AEW, but for people who don't know about them, I think it's really good and exciting. And I love how they're building their talent up. That's really good. It lets me know that, they're that's what I said. Everyone's, people that are crapping on them, you're not seeing what I'm seeing, I don't think these guys are just going to fall off 2 years from now. I just don't see it happening. Now, we know that TNT will debut. We all know that AEW will debut on TNT with their weekly show. I believe it's going to be called Wednesday Night Dynamite. And it will be October 2nd at the Capital One Arena in D.C. Now, they hit the West Coast. They've hit down south. And now they're hitting the East Coast. I like that. Now, it's going to be 8 to 10. Tickets go on sale this Friday, I believe, at noon, 12 noon. Tickets go on sale for the DC show, their very first show on TNT. Now, we do know that one of the matches they announced for the card is Cody Rhodes against Sammy Guevara. I really like and I enjoy that. I think that's going to be a good match. People are already crapping on it like, how does this match make sense? This match doesn't make sense. We're 2 months away from the first show. Watch Being the Elite. Watch probably they'll have the road to TNT or whatever like they do with all their shows. And they're going to build up the match. Like, it's 2 months. Be patient. People are so quick to just crap on some shit. And Cody and Sammy G, I believe, are going to have a really good match. Like, have you seen what Sammy G has been able to do in the ring? Like, he's really good, man. And we all know Cody's a fantastic wrestler. So I'm excited to see that match and how it goes. And then another match that they have released is Kenny and the Young Bucks will be taking on Chris Jericho and two mystery opponents. Now, a lot of people are speculating who these two mystery opponents are. Now, a lot of people are saying it was CM Punk and Moxley. Maybe. A lot of people are saying it's LAX. Now, if it's me, my favorite is LAX because I'll get to the CM Punk, but Moxley is confirmed. Moxley is confirmed to be there at their first show as well. They didn't announce if he'll be in a match, if he's going to cut a promo. None of that has been said, but he is confirmed for the first show. So it could be CM Punk and John Moxley. It could be. I'm not throwing that out there. However, the Lucha Bros, they're not with TNA. And I want the Lucha Bros and AEW. LAX. I want LAX and AEW. I don't want to see them. I love NXT. I don't want to see them in NXT. Just because what I've seen happen to the War Raiders and the Street Profits. They're going to get hot, win the NXT championships, and they have to go to the main roster. Like, no. I want them in AEW. I want them to be on a roster from jump where they can make an immediate impact on a tag team division because LAX, they are one of the best tag teams in the world as well. So I'm more hoping that it's going to be them. But if it's Mox and CM Punk, I would be thrilled with that as well. That's just what's going on. So those are the two matches announced. Also, they have hired Chris Van Vliet. That is awesome, man. I really enjoy Chris Van Vliet. I like his interviews and what he's been able to do in the wrestling world. So that is a really, really good signing, and I'm glad. Congratulations, Chris Van Vliet, man. That's what's up. That is really what's up. And, AEW, you got a good one right there. So that is what's going on with that. Now we're going to get into the CM Punk. We are going to get into CM Punk. But before I do, real quick, if you're liking what's going on, if you liked any of the content this week or before, thumbs up, subscribe, click the bell for notifications. This isn't going to be as long as my other ones because, like I said, it's just there's not a show this week. Of course, they don't have a show till the 31st, and Road to All Out hasn't been uploaded yet. But Wednesdays are my AEW days, so I'm going to find information and news to talk about with AEW. Now, this is probably the biggest one. This is with CM Punk. Now, ESPN.com, the interview with CM Punk and Cody Rhodes tweet on Friday night gave fans more reason to wonder if Punk and All Elite Wrestling have secretly come to a deal for him to make a surprise appearance at the All Out pay-per-view in Chicago. That's where CM Punk's from. We know Chicago loves seeing CM Punk. So, if you're one of those people hoping to see Punk in Chicago, then you will have to do so at StarCast 3, because at this point there is no deal for Punk to appear at All Out. In fact, everything said in the ESPN.com interview by Punk was 100% his true feelings, and everything Cody said on Twitter on Friday is actually how he felt, and this is not a work. It's crazy how they have to keep saying that. For those of you that missed it, Punk says that he did hear from people in AEW via text. Punk also indicated that he wasn't too thrilled with his name being teased by AEW. It is true that Tony Khan mentioned Punk at the Double or Nothing post-show media scrum, but he only did so because he was asked about him. Now, Cody said on Twitter that there were text messages sent only when they weren't able to communicate by phone. There was one in-person meeting. Cody went on to say that he wouldn't be surprised if Punk went back to WWE. but the door is open for him to sign with AEW. None of what Cody said was meant to come across as a work. Now, Dave Meltzer discussed this on Wrestling Observer Radio. Meltzer said, "This is not a work. He doesn't want to wrestle." Meltzer noted that there was a lot of speculation about Punk and AEW when Punk signed on to do StarCast. Punk said that he signed on for StarCast because it's close to where he lives. Essentially, the StarCast appearance has no connection to All Out. Now, they want him, they've contacted him, and he isn't interested. Meltzer said about AEW's interest in Punk, they made another pitch for this pay-per-view, and I'm sure they'll try to make another pitch for the TNT show. He says no, that's where it stands. Now, Punk can always change his mind, but as for now, there is no deal in place. As far as Punk's relationship with people in WWE, Meltzer noted that when Punk vs. Dr. Chris Ammon lawsuit was going on, noted that when the Punk vs. Dr. Chris Ammon lawsuit was going on, Punk cut ties with everyone, and that included Paul Heyman. Heyman is the person who saw the most in Punk when WWE was considering cutting Punk in the mid-2000s when he was in Ohio Valley Wrestling. Never say never, and time heals all wounds in wrestling. But even with Heyman as the executive director of Raw, I can't see Punk ever considering going back to WWE. Then again, people said the same thing about Bret Hart, Ultimate Warrior, and Bruno Sammartino, and they had all eventually went back to WWE. So, and I'm getting this is from WrestlingNews.com. That's where I'm reading that information from. Now, I want CM Punk in AEW. I do. And I'm sure a lot of people do. A lot of people do. And CM Punk was a big reason I'd stopped watching WWE, for some time. We all take our breaks. What got me back in, really invested, was the CM Punk pipe bomb and that feud with John Cena. That got me back into wrestling. It did. I was out of wrestling for a little bit. I was checking it out one day, just seeing what was going on. And all this talk was about CM Punk. Watched the infamous pipe bomb. I started watching Raw every week just to see what CM Punk was going to do or to say. He's good on the mic. He's good in the ring. And thing is, JR said that they have a big name for TV. Now, everybody was speculating that it was going to be Goldberg, maybe possibly Brock Lesnar. I always had in the back of my mind that it was CM Punk. I really did. I had in the back of my mind that it's CM Punk. Now, they're saying that this isn't a work, and that's what everybody keeps harping on and keeps saying it's not a work. These are CM Punk's true feelings, and it's funny because even fans, how they talk to him, and he says no. I'm not. I don't want to wrestle. I don't want to wrestle. I don't want to do it. But he cut like a promo about AEW, and I think like competing to win the AEW World Championship, if I'm not mistaken. So when I saw that, and no, StarCast doesn't have a direct impact with All Out, but StarCast and AEW do go hand in hand. Why do you think Vince McMahon pulled The Undertaker from StarCast and Booker T? You get what I'm saying? No. They do work with AEW. So I believe that there's something there, and I have to read in between the lines. And for Cody say maybe I think he'll go back to WWE before coming to AEW. I don't think Punk's ever going back to WWE. All that was said, that happened, him and Triple H don't get along. You gotta know there's some feelings between him and Vince. Yes, over time it does heal all wounds, but I I think CM Punk could have went back to WWE if he really, really wanted to at any point in time. I don't think he wants to go back to WWE. Now, the man may not just want to wrestle. Maybe he just wants to talk and be involved a little bit with All Out because it's in Chicago. And if he can help just tying his name a little bit to it, even StarCast, even cutting a little promo for them, if that can get this product a little bit over, then that's cool. And I think that's what he said. And I like how he said, I'm only going to StarCast because, I live in Chicago, So, however, it's wrestling. And to me, sometimes it's hard to tell what's a work and what isn't. And just because a person says this is not a work, doesn't necessarily mean that it's not a work. This is wrestling. You understand what I'm saying? This is the world of wrestling. So I'm looking at this. I was one of the people who believed that he was going to be at All Out. That's the Chicago. I didn't think he was going to be at Double or Nothing. I didn't think he was going to be at. I think if there's a show that CM Punk is going to come on and debut on, it's going to be All Out because it's in Chicago, and the pop that he would get would be probably one of the biggest pops for any wrestler that we've seen all year, maybe the past 2 years. That's why I believe that he was going to be at All Out. Now I don't know. Now I'm thinking like maybe he doesn't. Maybe the guy just doesn't want anything to do with wrestling. But then I'm like, this is good to get people thinking, like I just said, like, you know what, maybe he isn't, And then bam, there he is, So until All Out is completely over, I still have a little bit of belief that CM Punk is going to appear. Until the first TNT show is over, I think those are the two. If CM Punk doesn't come and doesn't debut at either one of them shows, then no, I don't think CM Punk is going to be with AEW. But now there's that name that Vince said, and that name has not came out yet. Okay, we know it's not Goldberg. We know it's not Brock Lesnar. There's really only one big free agent name out there that a TV network will say, oh, you're getting him? You're bringing him in? And that's CM Punk. He has that kind of pull. So it's hard for me to think that it's not him, and it's hard for me to think that this is not a work. Now, if it's not a work, then it's not. But if it is, this is a damn good work. This is damn good, because I'm 50-50 about him going to AEW or not. I'm 50-50 right now. I'm down the middle. I'm not completely ruling it out, because in the world of wrestling, man, anything's possible. I don't think he's going back to WWE. I don't think that at all. I think he will stay commentating, doing his UFC thing. He ain't going back to WWE. But the schedule for AEW, it's not like an AEW schedule. They always say, our wrestlers, they're going to wrestle once a week. They're not going to have a lot of pay-per-views. So it enables CM Punk to still do his UFC thing and to still compete for AEW and not have a tough schedule. So I'm 50-50 with it. I hope I'm in the boat that I hope it happens. I hope that we see CM Punk in AEW. I got my fingers crossed. I'm going to have them crossed all out. I'm going to be looking for my man CM Punk, even at the first show, the TNT show. And if I'm able to make that TNT show and he debuts then, I'm going to go crazy. I get to see CM Punk and Kenny Omega live, and the Young Bucks, and Cody, and Moxley, Jericho, Hangman, Lucha Bros. Yeah, my man Sammy G. Yes, that will be one lit show for sure. Even if it's all out, and just the thought that he is going to be at StarCast, which means he's probably going to be at that show. Now I'm not guaranteeing. I'm just saying he's probably going to be backstage at that show, and 1 minute he's saying him and Tony Khan don't have a good relationship, and then the next minute Tony Khan's like, me and CM Punk do got a good relationship. So it's like it's just a lot of things that has me thinking one way, and then there's a lot of things that has me thinking no. But I like how they're doing this, and I love how they're playing it, because if he is going to be in AEW, then they're doing this a good way, because it has me 50-50, and what I've been seeing from everybody who post on YouTube, who are content creators, who talk wrestling, who talk about wrestling. A lot of them are, they're one way or another too. They're about 50-50 too. And that's good. That's good. So if he doesn't show up, you're like, ah, man, damn, so they were right. But when he does, you'll be like, ah, they almost had me. That's good storytelling. Or work, whatever you want to call it. That's good. Now, Dave Meltzer says it's not, but until I see with my own eyes, because like I always say, man, these don't lie. So until I see, till All Out's over, till the first TNT show's over, I still have faith and belief that CM Punk can be in AEW. And I hope they make that happen. That's it. That's all I got for you guys today. We'll be back tomorrow. NXT. I got the G1 and NXT to watch tonight. So I'm going to have a lot of wrestling to watch. But, man, I love watching wrestling. I can watch wrestling all day long, every day. I really can. I really can. And, I'm excited to watch the G1. If you haven't been keeping up with the G1, it is something you should definitely go and check out because it is really that good. Also, if you missed anything this week, definitely go check those out. Just my opinion. I'm going to talk about Seth Rollins and his comments and what's going on with him and the Brock Lesnar thing. I go over Jim Cornette and his remarks about Kenny and the Young Bucks, how I feel about that and how I just feel about him crapping on AEW. Not all AEW, meaning he does like MJF, and there are things that he does mention that are good, so I'm not going to say he completely craps on him, but there was just some things that he's been saying that I don't mess with, so I addressed that, and I also talked about the Usos, Jimmy Uso and the arrest and all that, so that was yesterday. If you missed that, check those out. Make sure to give them a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to get 20 by August 31st. That is when All Out is. So I hope I can get 20 subscribers by August 31st. And it's only going to happen if you guys make it happen. So much needed support. Hopefully we can make this happen by August 31st. We're at about 14 now. So we need 6. I think I can get 6 by August 31st. That's the goal. Thank you guys for rocking with me. I appreciate it so much. This is Clouded Thoughts of Wrestling. I'm Sway Jose. Conquer your goals, live your dreams, spread that love, spread that peace. I'm out.